As the story moves forward, 3 years have passed, and Light now walks beside May in the deepest part of the abyss. Our boy appreciates the hard work of the fairy maids, and they get overly excited after being praised by their master. Some even lose their minds to the point of wishing to sniff his feet. This nonsense annoys May, and she asks for permission to silence their chatter. Light tells her it's nothing serious and then heads toward his city, where he greets his people. The townsfolk eagerly invite him to try their new dishes, but he seems to be in a hurry. May complains that their supply of snacks is running low, and the boy replies that he'll let the administrator know. Light mentions that the town has grown a lot over the past 3 years, so they might need to update the system. He then asks about the quartet, the 4 elite members, and requests an update on their progress. May explains that the first, Aoyuki, has been exploring the upper parts of the abyss and creating maps. Light feels a bit concerned since those forests are full of monsters, but he stays calm and optimistic, trusting her skills as a tamer. The second, Ellie, is working on new magic for our boy's grand plan, while the third, Nizuna, remains as busy as ever patrolling the castle grounds. May acknowledges her as a close combat expert, and even though she finds her a bit troublesome, Light seems to enjoy her company a lot. As they continue talking, the two reach the training grounds where the 4th superior Jack is already waiting for them. May scolds him for being too casual and disrespectful, but our boy waves it off, saying he sees the guy as his older brother. He then steps onto the field to train with him, and before they start, both make sure they're not wearing gloves this time so they cannot go easy on each other. Light begins the fight by dashing in like a pro and landing a punch straight to Jack's abdomen. The man withstands the hit and proudly declares that he isn't called the Iron-Blooded Barricade for nothing, claiming that if it were anyone else, they would have kicked the bucket from that single punch. Meanwhile, Nizuna continues her patrolling duties with pride and earns praise from the maids for protecting them. The fairy maids then slyly ask her to guard a special area that's supposed to be off-limits to them. Falling for their trick, Nizuna makes her way there and knocks on the master's bedroom door. May steps out and questions what she's doing there, to which the girl confidently replies that she's just on patrol. May reminds her that this area is restricted, but Nizuna quickly shoots back by asking what May herself is doing inside the master's bedroom while he's away training with Jack. May flusters and stammers out an excuse, claiming she was just cleaning the room, insisting that it would go against the maid's code to sit around doing nothing even when the master isn't present. Nizuna cuts May off when she shows surprise at how neatly the bed was made by rolling around in it and sniffing the sheets. The head maid calmly assures her that it is a professional bed-making technique. Amazed, Nizuna wants to learn more about it, but May replies that it is a top-secret technique for pros, leaving the bird-brained girl dazzled with respect for Master Light's #1 maid. May quietly thanks the heavens that Nizuna is not too bright, but just then, the girl remembers a letter from the fairy maids. She pulls it out and reads that the fairies refuse to let May hog all the fun of cleaning Master Light's room any longer. They claim their right to clean it too and vote for May to lose her cleaning privileges, even wishing she gets cursed 1,000 times. After reading that, Nizuna cluelessly wonders what the last part means, and the head maid tells her not to worry her little head about it since it is just a matter between her and the fairies. She hands Nizuna 3 silvers for delivering the message, which makes the girl glow with excitement. She is overjoyed and offers to serve May anytime she needs her, and then runs off like a little girl who just got her pocket money. Outside, Nizuna heads to a sweet shop and stares at all the things she can buy, but what she loves most are the pancakes with fresh milk. After that, she meets Aoyuki sitting on the terrace and asks why she did not go to survey the forest. The cat girl meows, and Nizuna somehow understands it means she has already finished the mission and wants a taste of her pancakes. When the cat girl says something else, Nizuna struggles to understand her meows and assumes she had trouble with trees and monsters. Aoyuki meows in frustration as Nizuna proudly claims she is more reliable even though she was summoned later. Hearing that, the cat girl instantly corrects her, saying there were no enemies and that she only came to deliver a map to May. Nizuna gives her some painful pats on the back in appreciation and calls her silly for not saying so earlier, before heading out for patrol again. Later, in the empty throne room, Nizuna feels lonely without Master Light around. She rubs her cheek against his majestic throne, thinking about how cool he looks sitting there like a true king. However, her brute strength accidentally rips off one of the throne's wing decorations, and she nearly has a heart attack when she realizes what she has done. In a panic, she slaps the broken piece back on and bolts out of the room as fast as she can. Meanwhile, deep underground, Jack and Light exchange another powerful punch that sends shockwaves throughout the chamber. After a long silence, Jack admits it was a good fight and suggests they hit the bath. While soaking, he tells Light that his control has improved massively and that very few fighters underground, or barely anyone on the surface, can face him now, putting stress on the barely. Light vows that he won't let his guard down this time as he plans to exact his revenge just as he originally intended. As the scene shifts, the head maid gathers all her underlings who had tried to protest and send her a message through Nizuna. May asks if they understand why they've been summoned, but the maids quickly deny it, pretending they have no idea. May then reads out the lines from their letter, especially the final part, and the moment they hear it, the maids instinctively step back and apologize for their behavior. When May asks for their reasoning, they give the most pathetic excuses possible, claiming they only wanted to lighten her workload and support her responsibilities. May scolds them for dragging Nazuna into it, and the fairy maids instantly regret their decision. As punishment, May orders the four of them to clean the entire hallway leading to the throne room with their bare hands. The maids protest, but it's clear they have no other option. May then tells them she'll be heading to the surface on a mission with the master and instructs them to work hard and stay diligent while she's away. Meanwhile, Nazuna spends her time window shopping when Ellie suddenly shows up, teasing her by asking if she's looking for candy again. The two start chatting about their routines, but it doesn't take long before Ellie starts calling her dumb and stupid for not even remembering the table of one. What begins as small talk quickly turns into a full-on argument. Ellie smugly brags about getting the chance to have tea with the master and then boldly reveals her wish to book a private room for dinner with him. She even throws in a few dirty hints, but Nazuna is so ridiculously dense that she doesn't understand a single thing no matter how hard Ellie tries to make her jealous. Instead, Nazuna simply tells Ellie that she'll protect her in close combat if she ever needs help and leaves, excusing herself to resume her guard duty. Meanwhile, the four fairy maids gather around a table for a heated conference, complaining about how unfairly they are treated. Their conversation once again drifts toward trashing the head maid, and they gossip about how she, being the first summon, got to stay alone with the master for 3 whole months in the dungeon before he summoned anyone else. The maids, burning with envy, shout out their jealousy and even wish for their head maid to drop dead under some cursed spell. Just as the fairy maids begin praying together for May's painful death, the head maid appears out of nowhere and calmly states that she heard everything from outside. She crosses her arms and asks them to explain themselves. One by one, the fairy maids scramble to show fake loyalty, but when May repeats the exact words they said, everyone falls silent in embarrassment. The head maid then makes it clear that May earned her privilege fair and square since she personally taught Master Light and trained him with all the knowledge in the world before they were summoned, adding there was no time to do anything indecent back then.
Then, May admits she initially came back because she felt guilty and wanted to take back her harsh punishment. But after seeing their shameless behavior, she changes her mind and adds the task of cleaning the entire throne room. The fairy maids immediately beg for mercy, saying it will take forever, but May smugly grins and asks if it is really impossible when they still have time to waste, cursing her and whining. After that, the girls go all in on cleaning until one of them goes completely speechless, accidentally breaking the part Nazuna had already damaged. Meanwhile, the air-headed girl quietly wishes she can see Master soon before she peacefully drifts off to sleep. The next day, Light opens the door to the abyss and finds his girls fighting outside. Nazuna's face lights up the moment she sees him, and she excitedly asks if he really came just to see her like she wished. While Ellie teases her for being overly hopeful, Aoyuki silently sneaks up to him, and he starts rubbing her chin out of habit. That sight instantly makes Nazuna and Ellie jealous, and they both shout at Aoyuki to get away from him. Just then, a massive hellhound emerges from the darkness, and Light's legs start shaking as he recalls the terrifying encounter he had with one long ago. However, his fear disappears the moment he sees his 3 companions ready to obliterate the beast that dared to bare its fangs at their lord. The sheer intensity of their killing intent makes the hellhound cower in fear. Seeing that, Light tells them to stop because he can handle this much himself. He calmly approaches the trembling monster and pats its nose, apologizing for scaring it. He feels bad because even if he ordered his girls as a joke, they would actually hunt its entire species to extinction. After that, the quartet gathers as Light explains that May has confirmed their target has taken the bait. Nazuna and Oyuki get fired up, while Ellie sighs and wishes she could have been the bait instead. Light nods proudly, tells them he is counting on them, and heads out to finally claim the vengeance he has been waiting for these past 3 years. Meanwhile, in the City of Wolves, the townsfolk give a grand welcome to Garu, who has just returned after a long time.